this could end badly. Hello and welcome to my recap of the first 3 episodes of Love Island UK, summer 2023. There's a lot of seasons. This is my first time doing Love Island. It airs every day, or at least 6 out of 7 days of the week, I think. And I do not have it in me to recap every day. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of bunch them up into, I don't know, bunches, and do a couple at a time, because honestly the minutia of a lot of the how do you feel, it just gets repetitive. And so broad strokes, easier for me and hopefully more entertaining for you. Shout out to Nicole Davies and to Queen E, who do this recap every day, because that's dedication. So kudos to you. I already did a video on the opening cast of Love Island. So if you haven't checked that out already, go do that now so that we can move on, because I don't want to go over them again. So we're going to skip over the talking head points. Also, since Love Island UK airs in the UK and not in the US where I'm at, I'm watching it on Hulu, so I'm way behind everybody else. I know that, and I can't do anything about it. So the first Islanders to get to the villa are Mitchell, Andre, Ruchi, Ella, and Jess. After those 5 get acquainted and meet each other, Maya comes and says that they will not be paired up with any of each other. Instead, the public pair them up with the people who they're going to bring out now. Jess gets paired with George, who was troublesome outside of the villa. So again, check out my Meet the Cast video on that drama. Jess is kind of meh on George to start off with. George is happy. Mitchell gets paired with Molly, and they kind of look fabulous together, and they're both very, very happy, and who each other would have picked if they had the choice. Andre gets paired with Catherine, and Catherine is very happy because he's who she would have picked on her own as well. Andre is also very happy. Ruchi gets paired with Mehdi. Ruchi is not super thrilled. She's not really into Mehdi. Mehdi's just kind of chill, and he's going with the flow and sort of seeing what's happening. But Ruchi isn't super into him. And that leaves Ella with Tyreek. And apparently they've met already out and about in London, probably at a bar, she said. But Tyreek didn't remember her. Granted, it was found out later that she had blonde hair, and she did look very different in that picture. But he didn't remember her. Apparently she got over it because they had a brief encounter after the pairing about it, and they moved on pretty quickly. All of the Islanders get to meet each other. The girls talk about the guys talk about the girls. Then they kind of talk to their partners, and they just kind of get to meet each other. But that night they get to play a version of beer pong without the beer. So they throw the ball into the cup, and then they drink it, and then they have to do a dare or whatever's on the cup. There was some smooches, but nothing really super enticing because everybody just met, and so it's like, okay, whatever. Whatever. We do find out that Jess likes Mitchell, but Mitchell is pretty set on Molly. Then Maya comes back and everybody's in their couples, and Maya dares the girls to step forward if they're not happy with their current pairing. And so out of everybody, Ruchi and Jess step forward, so they're not happy with Mehdi and George respectively, unfortunately. Then Maya brings out the first bombshell of 2023, Zachariah. Zachariah is 25, he's an East Londoner, and he is a personal trainer. In 24 hours, he gets to pick any girl he wants to pair up with, and then the boy left, it will be at risk of leaving the island. And that is the end of episode 1. Moving on to episode 2. Let's get it. Zachariah spends some time talking with the girls, then he spends some time talking with the guys. It seems like his favorites are kind of Catherine and Ella and a little bit of Ruchi, so we'll see where he ends up. But he's not into Jess or Molly, it seems like. As the girls are talking about how they like Zachariah, Mitchell is a gentleman and brings over his jacket for Molly since it's nighttime and she might be cold. And all the other girls are like, hey, Mitchell, tell the boys how to actually be a gentleman. And he's like, I'll do my best. So after everybody gets in bed, Molly and Mitchell have a little smoochy smooch for real outside of a game. For real, a smoochy smooch. Ooh, and it's cute, and it's a little quick thing. It's a little like little quick thing, so it's cute. And then Tyreek, while snuggling Ella, gives her a little smooch on the cheek, which was also kind of sweet. The next day, Molly talks to George and to Zachariah, and we get little inserts of Mitchell looking scowly over at them. So I'm wondering if he's going to get a little possessive. I got my eye on you. And Mitchell, side note, Mitchell reminds me of like a love child between Jack and Luca. He's like the love child of Jack and Luca, in my opinion. The first text of the season. Ooh. Molly gets the first text of the season, and it is for the first game/challenge of the season. And this one is called Wary Tales, wherein the Islander has to go down a slip and slide, grab a key, and then open a book which will unlock a secret. And then they read the secret out loud, have to smooch the Islander who they think the secret belongs to, and then the answer is revealed. So during this game, we learn, I'm just going to go through them really quick. I'm not going to say who kisses who because I don't really care. Because it's too early in the game for any serious drama. We learn that Ella went through an ex's phone while he was sleeping. We learn that Jess lied to her parents about getting her nipple pierced. Catherine kissed 5 guys in one night. Apparently it was her first kiss ever, and so she went a little overboard and just kissed everybody. Molly used a friend's purse to unclog a toilet, and the story didn't even make a whole lot of sense, so I'm just gonna skip over that. Ruchi says that a red flag is when a guy wants to split the bill for the first couple dates, so she thinks she needs to be courted the first couple of dates. And then Jess had sex with an ex in a porta potty, and she said, we were both drunk, it was an ex, I'm gonna leave it there, and so shall I. Mitchell dated 3 girls at the same time because he was too scared to break it off with any of them. Medi at a bar hit on a girl and her mom without knowing they were related. Andre has a fantasy about having sex with 2 MILFs. Weird. Zachariah said he broke his phone in order to ghost somebody, or he used that as an excuse to ghost somebody. That was kind of a lame secret, in my opinion. And Tyreek, this one's the juiciest one. Tyreek has slept with over 100 people. He said he stopped counting once he reached 100. After the challenge, it is time for Zachariah to make his decision on who he wants to pick. And he picks Catherine. So Andre is a little butthurt, but Catherine is very, very happy because her and Zachariah have been getting on very, very well since he came into the house. Now we move on to episode 3, and here is where stuff actually starts getting some juice, getting some juices going. After Zachariah picks Catherine, they immediately get to go on a date on the terrace where there's some fruit and some chocolate and some champagne, and so they have a very nice date, and they're making eye contact. It was only Catherine for Zachariah. They're hitting it off very, very well, and it's very cute. Zachariah said that he's a mama's boy, and I love Catherine's shirt that she's wearing. It has like all crisscross laced up the sleeves. I really, really like. Meanwhile, Ruchi is comforting Andre. He's like laying on her and like bummed about Catherine, and Ruchi's kind of into Andre, so she's like, hey, keep your options open. Maybe not be so closed off to other people. I'm comforting you while Catherine's with somebody else, so maybe focus on what's here. Eyes. Then George decides to talk to Ruchi, and because George is just grasping at straws because he's not really getting along with anybody right now. When Zach and Catherine come back from their date, Zachariah talks to Andre just to square things away with him. They're cool. Then Andre and Catherine talk, and Catherine kind of lets him down easy, but I think she could have done better about saying like, look, I'm going to focus on him and you go your separate ways. Right now, I feel like she is kind of hinting at it, but not being explicit. And so I feel like Andre's going to still try with her when it's not really going to work. She's much more suited for Zachariah. So it's like, just tell Andre, hey, now that I'm with him, I'm going to focus on him. Go focus on somebody else for now. That's just my opinion, but I get it. He's young and she doesn't want to hurt him. Jess thinks that she's liking Tyreek, but Tyreek is just a flirt and he's not into her. He's more into Ella. Molly says that she's not closed off, but it kind of seems like she's married off to Mitchell at this point, but she says she's not closed off and she still wants to talk to people. So we shall see what happens. George is growing on Ruchi. I don't think there's anything there, but I feel like there's nobody else really for either one of them at the moment. So I feel like they might just have kind of a friend understanding for now, and then hopefully somebody else will come in for either of them. Since Andre is the single guy of the villa right now, he gets to go on a date with new bombshell, Whitney. Whitney is 25 and she sells wigs. Whitney and Andre are flirty at the beach on their date, and it's cute, but she's having a hard time getting over his age because he's 21 and she's 25. What did I just say? Because he's 21 and she's 25. So she's having a little issue with that. So I don't really see this going anywhere, but Andre seems to like Whitney because he likes MILFs, and so he likes older women. So I don't really see anybody in there for Andre right now. I don't know. He might be too young for the women in the house right now. Tyreek pulls Molly to have a chat, and he's basically just telling her like, hey, talk to everybody. It's still early days. Don't marry yourself off to Mitchell just yet. And she says that she's open to exploring, but it also seems like she's pretty married off to Mitchell. So she's saying she's going along with it for now because it's good and there's nobody else, but I don't know that Mitchell knows that. I think Mitchell's in it. This could end badly. Tyreek and Jess are having a conversation, and Jess is into Tyreek even though he has the 100 plus body count. They're flirting, and Jess basically says like, hey, I'm into you. Do you want to do this, or are we just friends? Like, what's up? And Tyreek friend zones Jess pretty flat out, and he says, can we still flirt? And she's like, no, we're done with that. You're my friend, you're my wingman now. That was that, and we're done. Tyreek tells Ella what just happened about Jess and how he turned her down and how it's only Ella for him, and they smoochy smooch at the fire pit, and other people see them, and they start Catherine, I think, and Ruchi see them kissing, and they start cheering. I feel a little bad for Jess, but I mean, at least Tyreek apologized for leading her on if he did, and he said like, no, I'm into Ella. Meanwhile, Maddie and Whitney are vibing, and he says he likes a boss woman and she's a boss woman. So I'm wondering if maybe there's something between those two. I would really like somebody in there for Maddie, to be honest. So maybe it's Whitney, maybe not. The episode ends with Mitchell bringing Molly up to the terrace so that they can have their first official smoochy smooch on the terrace. And this is a real one. This isn't just like a good night. This is a smooch. This is a real smooch for the end of the episode. I think Mitchell and Molly are kind of boring. They look great. They seem perfect. I think they're a little bit boring, and I feel like, I don't know, there might be some drama coming up. I really like Zachariah and Catherine together. Tyreek, I just don't trust. I got my eye on you, Tyreek. He's untrustworthy. So that's it for the first 3 episodes of Love Island UK Summer 2023. I'm not sure when I'm going to do my next batch, but I'll try and get it out as soon as possible. What are you thinking of Love Island so far? Do you have any favorite couples? Do you have any favorite islanders? Do you have any least favorite islanders or least favorite couples? Who do you think is going to make it? Leave your comments below. I want to hear what you think. And thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I'm going to do my next recap. and I will see you next time.